So which type of person are you? Are you person A who likes to take on too much at once sometimes and sometimes fails miserably? Or are you person B who takes the slow, more methodical approach and are content to build skills and habits gradually, confident that they'll get there eventually? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Brett Hamilton, and I help people just like you who are busy look, transform, and move their bodies in ways that they've never been able to do before. And we try to do it in the most sustainable way possible. And when I say sustainable, that basically means that in a way that requires the least amount of input possible so that it can be sustained over a much more long period of time. So I have an analogy for you to illustrate the difference between somebody who maybe takes on too much at once and then crashes and burns and fails miserably, or the person who takes a more slow, methodical approach and builds skills and habits on a very gradual basis. And it's you kind of imagine like driving your car on the highway. So I'm from Oregon. We have this Interstate 5 running up and down our state, and it actually goes all the way down into California and up into Washington too. So it's a really long interstate, right? And so I like to imagine being on Interstate 5, and there are two types of cars when you're driving on the highway, right? There's that car that is speeding up and slowing down constantly. They're weaving in and out of traffic. They're cutting people off. And then there's also the car who just kind of tends to stay in the right lane and goes the speed limit, or occasionally the person who goes a little bit less than the speed limit, right? So the car that's weaving in and out of traffic, they basically have a higher likelihood of crashing and burning, right? Because they're taking on more risk by weaving in and out of traffic, cutting people off, speeding up, slowing down. They're taking on more risk, and they're making the process of getting to their destination ultimately more complex, because instead of just heading in a straight line, they're heading in a straight line, but also going sideways and taking a lot of turns and deviations from the course. And that is making it so that they are less likely to reach their destination in one piece. So think of it like you're overcomplicating the process, right? Like the higher likelihood of failing or quitting altogether is a result of their journey is more complex than it needs to be, and they're taking on more than they need to all at once, and that's contributing to the likelihood of them crashing and burning. Okay. The other alternative is the car that's in the right lane. They're on cruise control, they're listening to their favorite music, and they're ultimately confident in reaching their destination at some point. And the example is that when you're enjoying your journey and you're taking your time systematically stacking skills and habits one at a time along the way, this contributes to a greater likelihood of success because we're keeping the process more simple and streamlined. So why will this keep you on track? Well, like, which one are you doing? Like, which one sounds like it would keep you on track, right? So if taking on more change at once, it could be a big change or many small changes taken on at once. That generally is going to result in less likelihood of success. And this is backed up by research. Like, if you try to build 3 small habits at once, the likelihood of your success rate goes down exponentially compared to if you just focus on one habit at a time. Or if you take on a big change, so it could be going from like A to Z, and you're trying to bridge the gap, and you're not ready to do what it takes to hit Z, but you maybe you're ready for B or C. Well, like, trying to make a huge jump versus a small jump, that's also another reason why people will fail at something. And so that's just an example there. But if you're taking the time to make one simple and small change at a time, owning it, making it a habit, and then building off of it with another small but simple change, this is ultimately how it will remain sustainable for a person to make that change. And this applies to fitness, this applies to weight loss, this applies to literally any aspect of your life that you could apply it to. It doesn't have to do specifically with food or nutrition or any of that. It can apply to any aspect of your life. So I always go back to when I'm making a decision about myself, about potentially changing something about one of my habits, I always ask myself, is this going to feel like too much of a change for me? Is it asking too much of me right now? Or is this feeling like something I can just add to what I'm already doing? And it's a simple but small change that's going to take me that much closer to my destination. And is it going to allow me to continue to enjoy this journey, confident in the knowledge that I will get there? And if I have a sense of resistance to it, when I ask myself that question, if I have a sense of resistance to it, then I know I'm not going to do it, and I shouldn't even attempt it. And if it's something that is important to me, then I need to figure out how to bridge the gap between that and where I want to be. And that's a whole other topic for another day. But my point is if you keep things simple and you stick your car in cruise control and you listen to your favorite music and you stack those skills and habits one at a time, you are going to make the likelihood of you sticking to something over a long period of time so much greater. And the likelihood of you actually arriving at the destination or the outcome that you're looking for so much greater. So if this video was helpful, if you found it valuable, please share it with a friend. I would really appreciate that. And as always, my name is Brett Hamilton, and I will see you